Hi everyone, and welcome back to TV Time with Chris. The channel devoted specifically to TV shows and limited series. So today we're actually going to be talking about three quick things. The first thing I want to talk about is that Netflix moved up the premiere of season 3 of Cobra Kai. It's now going to open on January 1st. So I'm super excited about that. Gives me something to kind of get through until Disney Plus starts coming out with like WandaVision and such. So I can definitely start now, restream seasons 1 and 2 of Cobra Kai and get myself ready for season 3, which again Netflix has bumped up and it's going to be coming out January 1st. So really what today's episode was going to be about, before I heard that news, was we're going to talk briefly about the season finale of The Mandalorian, and we're going to talk a little bit about Queen's Gambit on Netflix. So let's start out with The Mandalorian. This finale, I know I touched upon it in my last episode, but here we're going to be going over some other details. So yes, this episode will have spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, if you're waiting for some reason, and you don't want to know what happens, go ahead and stop this video or back out of it now. But if it doesn't really matter to you, or if you've seen it already, go ahead and continue watching. So this episode, again, the episode before the finale really had me hyped with the whole speech that Din Djarin gave to Moff Gideon, basically repeating what he said to him. It gave me goosebumps. I was so excited. And this episode, you got to really see those trooper guys in action and how powerful they were against, normal folk, I guess you could say. But the fight scene between Moff Gideon and Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, still a better fight scene than you got at the end of Ava. So that was really enjoyable. The fact that now the Mandalorian has the Darksaber, and where they're going to go with that, because now he's basically the ruler of Mandalore, but he didn't want that. So I'm sure season 3 is really going to go in depth with how he's going to go about rebuilding Mandalore, and if he's going to stay the leader of it or not. And a lot of people are, criticizing the whole Luke Skywalker coming back thing. And they really shouldn't. It looked good. It wasn't great, but you're not going to get great unless you could go back in time and bring Luke back, Mark Hamill from 40 years ago to come back and play the role. But, the Avengers haven't discovered time travel yet. Iron Man doesn't discover it till 2023. So, we still got 3 years. But, I think it looked good. The fact that he took Grogu, honestly, at first I didn't realize it was going to be Luke, but then it kind of hit me that it was. And the whole scene of him taking Grogu to be like his apprentice, and Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, having to, part ways with him, very emotional. And, you're watching 2 seasons worth of him protecting Grogu, the child, Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call it. And now that's come to an end. So it was very emotional, very sad, but I'm excited to see where they're going to go with that. If that's going to be part of season 3, if that's going to be its own spin-off series. I know that they've been talking about Sebastian Stan playing a young Luke. And if he does, are they going to go with a series about Luke and his new temple and his pupils, and is Grogu going to be there? So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with that as well. But everyone knocking the way Luke looked, you know what? You knew it was Luke. It was that good. And just, I don't know. Someone tried to do a deep fake of it, and I think the deep fake looked, it looked like him, but it wasn't great quality. And just leave it alone. You knew it was Luke. You can't bring Mark Hamill back in time 40 years. They did a good job. But that was the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. It was really exciting to see. I'm excited to see where they're going to go with, again, Din Djarin having the Darksaber and it's him being the ruler of Mandalore. What's going to happen with Luke having Grogu now? Is that going to be its own series, kind of like how Boba Fett's going to have his own now? So I'm excited to see what happens. But moving on, I want to talk about the Netflix series Queen's Gambit. And I'd been meaning to watch this. It's been on my list of things to watch for a while. And I had a day and a half, really, of free time recently. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and watch this. It was a limited series. It's on Netflix. It's only 7 episodes long. Each episode's about an hour. So I sat down, watched it, and wow, what a good show. Following this chess prodigy basically through her life and how she learned how to play the game and excelled at it and grew and eventually, took on the Russians, who were supposed to be the best ever, and eventually defeated them. So I like how accurate it was with all its chess. They did have, masters and grandmasters as what's the word I'm looking for? Consultants for the show to kind of advise on the way the boards are, the moves, everything. So it was very realistic. And I can see how, after this show came out, chessboard sales had skyrocketed because, I used to play chess. I still do sometimes, but, I was in a chess club, and this show really sparked it back in me. I was like, oh, I want to start playing chess again, because it does something to you. The game itself is so, it's just like life. It really is. Not the game life, real life. So yeah, it really did a lot with this show. It showed how being a child star, I guess you could say, really affects people and can change them, sometimes not for the better. And you see that even with today, real life, all these child actors and the troubles that they went through growing up and how they eventually overcame them. And I think one of the greatest success stories there is Robert Downey Jr. His father was in the film industry and he got into it very young. Robert Downey Jr. has been in it since he was like 3 or 4. And everyone knows the troubles that he went through, with his addictions and trouble with the law. But, he turned his life around, and look how successful he is now. And that's really what you see with this story. And how, you could be a child star and it will affect you in a negative way, but you just have to overcome it. And I also like that it shows how, too much of anything, I guess you could say. I guess if you saw the movie Soul, if you saw Disney Plus's Soul, Pixar. It's on Disney Plus. Sorry, Soul on there. They talk about how if you do too much of something, it becomes like an addiction, and you become like a lost soul. You see that with these chess prodigies, and you saw that with this show as well. How, you know, if your life is just devoted to that one thing, you lose sight of everything else. And it, you know, you see that with Bobby Fischer, and you saw that here, but you can turn things around, and you can get out of these slumps. And I like that much of the show that it showed that as well. It did a better job than Soul did. Not to knock Soul, which is what I'm doing in this episode, but yeah, Queen's Gambit, it really shows you the ups and downs of life and of being a child star. And if you haven't seen it, I think it's still on Netflix. It's probably still on their top 10 because it's that good. So check out Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Again, it's only a limited series. It's only 7 episodes. Each episode's about an hour. So take about 6.5, 7 hours out of your life to watch this, and you won't regret it. I promise you. But anyway, that's the episode for today. I'm probably going to take a little bit of time off from this channel. Not so much the movie time, but the TV time. At least until Cobra Kai comes back out on the 1st. So until that happens, stay safe, take care. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and yeah, take care.